Section 1. The richest guy in Africa? You bet. Alright, let's talk about money. Big money. Not just, I can afford to buy the fancy cheese money, but I own the company that makes the cheese, the crackers, and the truck that delivers the money. When you talk about that level of wealth in Africa, one name just keeps popping up year after year. It's Aliko Dangote. For over a decade, the folks at Forbes Bloomberg, the people who keep a scoreboard for billionaires, have consistently ranked him as the richest person on the entire continent. Section 2. From humble trades to towering triumphs. Every massive fire starts with a tiny spark, and the Dangote Group inferno began back in 1977. Picture this. A young Aliko Dangote, fresh out of university, secures a small loan from his uncle. We're not talking about a few bucks for a weekend trip. We're talking about a serious seed fund, about £500,000 naira, which was a fortune back then. What did he do with it? Did he buy a fleet of sports cars? No. He started trading commodities. Simple things: sugar, rice, salt, cement. He was basically a middleman, importing these goods and selling them in his home country of Nigeria. Section 3. The building blocks. Cementing a legacy. If the Dangote empire has a flagship, a crown jewel, it's Dangote Cement. You can't talk about this company without talking about cement. It's the foundation, both literally and figuratively, of his entire conglomerate. After mastering the art of making food staples, Dangote looked around and saw a continent that was building. New cities, new roads, new ports, new homes, and all of it required mountains of cement. At the time, much of that cement was being imported, making it expensive and sometimes unreliable. He saw an opportunity so big it was the size of a continent, and he jumped in with both feet. Today, Dangote Cement isn't just a cement company, it is the cement company in sub-Saharan Africa. The scale is staggering. The company has a production capacity of over 52 million tons per year. To put that in perspective, that's enough cement to build a 2-lane highway that could wrap around the earth. It operates in about 10 countries, with massive, state-of-the-art plants that have made Nigeria, once a net importer of cement, into an exporter. The strategy was simple: achieve massive scale, control the entire production process from quarry to customer, and drive down costs to make cement more affordable for everyone. Section 4. More than just cement. The grocery list of an empire. While cement might be the empire's cornerstone, Aliko Dangote never forgot his roots in the food business. He understood that before people need a house, they need to eat. So, while one part of his conglomerate was busy building Africa, another part was focused on feeding it. The Dangote Group is a massive player in food and agriculture. Its product list reads like a shopping list for a nation. Sugar, salt, flour, pasta, rice. These aren't luxury items. They are the essentials, the daily calories that power millions of lives across the continent. It's a business model built on the undeniable reality that people will always need to eat. Take sugar, for instance. Dangote Sugar Refinery is one of the largest in the world. It doesn't just package sugar, it imports raw sugar cane and refines it into the final product that ends up in your tea, your coffee, your baking. The same goes for flour. Dangote flour mills are a key part of Nigeria's food supply chain, turning wheat into the flour needed for bread, a staple food for millions. By controlling these key points in the food production process, the group ensures a consistent supply and has a major influence on the market. It's not just about processing either. For example, to package all of this salt, sugar, and flour, what do you need? Bags. So, what did Dangote do? He built his own packaging plants to produce the polypropylene bags needed for his products. It's a relentless pursuit of efficiency and control that cuts costs and strengthens the entire operation from the ground up. Just when you thought the Dangote empire couldn't get any bigger, Aliko Dangote decided to tackle oil, the lifeblood and Achilles heel of Nigeria's economy. Nigeria is one of Africa's biggest oil producers, yet it imports most refined fuel: petrol, diesel. Its state refineries are old and barely functional, like owning a giant orchard full of apples but buying apple juice from your neighbor. It makes no sense. It costs the country billions every year.
I can fix that.
And fix it he did. In the most audacious way imaginable, he embarked on building the Dangote Petroleum Refinery, a project of mind-boggling scale, located just outside Lagos, the world's largest single-train refinery, one massive integrated processing line. Capacity, 650,000 barrels per day, designed to meet Nigeria's entire domestic demand, and still have surplus for export. A monumental bet on Nigeria and the continent. For Nigeria, an end to crippling import reliance. Save billions in foreign exchange. Save billions in subsidies. Energy security. Thousands of jobs. Jobs directly at the refinery. Jobs in supporting industries. For West Africa, a new regional source of fuel. Cheaper fuel, more reliable fuel, supplied from a neighbor, not from halfway around the world. Not just an industrial asset. It's strategic national infrastructure, built by a single private company. But it's also a monumental risk. Delays, cost overruns, immense logistical challenges. Moving gigantic equipment was an engineering feat. If, or when, it runs at full capacity, it will redraw Africa's energy map. Dangote's philosophy: find a massive systemic problem caused by lack of local capacity, then solve it with an investment so big it becomes the new reality, the industrial equivalent of a mic drop. If you had to boil down the entire philosophy of the Dangote Group into one simple phrase, it would be something like "Made in Africa, for Africa." This isn't just a catchy slogan, it's the central organizing principle behind almost every major business decision. His official vision talks about being a world-class enterprise, passionate about improving quality of life. In plain terms, build a great company by providing basic things people need to live better lives. The company's tagline: providing local, value-added products and services. Key words: local, value-added. He moved from being a trader to being a manufacturer. Import raw material, or even better, source it locally. Then add value here in Africa. Refining, milling, manufacturing. This is economic patriotism. Build industrial capacity to develop a nation. Every bag of Dangote cement used to build a house. Every spoonful of Dangote sugar. Small victories for local production. It's a job that stayed in Nigeria instead of going to China or Brazil. It's a skill that was learned by an African engineer. It's profit that can be reinvested into the next factory, not flowing out. A slow, steady strategy to build wealth from the ground up. Still a for-profit enterprise, and a hugely successful one. Deliver high returns to stakeholders. But profit pursuit aligns with national development. Company success is intertwined with the continent's progress. When you accumulate a fortune as vast as Aliko Dangote's, a question inevitably arises. What are you going to do with it all? For many of the world's wealthiest, the answer is philanthropy, and Dangote is no exception. In 1994, long before the billionaire philanthropy trend, he established the Aliko Dangote Foundation. This isn't just a small side project to generate good PR, it's the largest private foundation in sub-Saharan Africa. A serious, large-scale philanthropic organization with a clear and ambitious mission. The foundation focuses on what it calls the 4 pillars: health and nutrition, education, economic empowerment, disaster relief. Essentially, it targets the very same fundamental human needs that the business empire is built on, but from a non-profit angle. It's as if the Dangote Group is the engine of the car, and the Aliko Dangote Foundation is the safety system, designed to protect the most vulnerable passengers. The foundation has invested hundreds of millions of dollars into programs across Africa, tackling issues from child malnutrition to providing support during health crises like the Ebola outbreak and the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the foundation's biggest areas of focus is healthcare. It has poured enormous resources into fighting diseases like malaria, polio, and has worked to strengthen healthcare systems by building hospitals and clinics. A signature initiative has been its focus on nutrition, particularly for children and mothers, based on the understanding that a healthy population is the bedrock of a productive society. The ADF operates on a philosophy of not just giving handouts, but creating sustainable improvements. It's not just about giving a village food. It's about investing in local agriculture so the village can feed itself. This commitment to giving back adds another layer to the Dangote narrative. It positions him not just as a titan of industry, but as a stakeholder in the social well-being of the continent. Building an empire of this magnitude in any part of the world is hard. Building it in Africa comes with its own unique set of Herculean challenges, and the Dangote Group has certainly faced its share. Operating across more than a dozen countries means navigating a complex patchwork of different laws, political systems, currencies, cultures. What works in Nigeria might not work in Zambia. A change in government in one country can upend your entire business plan overnight. It requires a level of political savvy and adaptability that would make most CEOs' heads spin. Furthermore, the very infrastructure that Dangote's cement helps to build is often what's lacking for his own operations. Imagine trying to run a massive, state-of-the-art factory when the power grid is unreliable. Dangote has had to become his own utility company, building dedicated power plants just to keep his factories running 24/7. Imagine trying to transport millions of tons of goods when the roads are poor and the ports are congested. The company has had to invest heavily in its own logistics and trucking fleets. These are massive, expensive problems that companies in more developed regions simply don't have to worry about. There's also the constant pressure that comes with being the biggest player in the room. When you are the dominant supplier of essential goods like cement or sugar, your pricing and business practices are under intense scrutiny from governments, competitors, and the public. Accusations of monopolistic behavior are never far away. The company has to walk a fine line between leveraging its scale to be efficient and being seen as a bully that stifles competition. This requires a delicate dance of public relations, government lobbying, and demonstrating that its market leadership ultimately benefits the consumer through lower prices and reliable supply. And finally, there's the challenge of succession. Aliko Dangote is the visionary and the driving force behind the entire enterprise. His personal drive and relationships have been key to its success. But what happens next? Building a corporate structure that can outlast its founder is perhaps the ultimate test for any great entrepreneur. Ensuring that the culture of innovation, risk-taking, and relentless execution can continue under new leadership is a challenge that the Dangote Group, like all great empires, will eventually have to face. The transition from a founder-led company to an enduring institution is a perilous one, and one that will define its long-term legacy. So, when you put it all together, the cement, the sugar, the refinery, the philanthropy, what does it all mean? It's more than a business case study. It's a mirror reflecting ambitions, the challenges, the immense potential of 21st century Africa. From a small-time trader to an industrial magnate, proof that world-class businesses can be born and built in Africa by Africans. He challenged the old export-import narrative, tangible impact on Africa's economy. One of Nigeria's largest employers, tens of thousands of jobs, creating ecosystems, suppliers, distributors, contractors, not just numbers, livelihoods, building a middle class, transferring skills, creating a sense of possibility. Local production strengthened national economies, reduced import bills, fostered industrial pride. Betting on Africa can be a smart business decision. The story has complexities. Concentration of power raises questions about competition and influence. Still, the transformative impact is clear. He imagined Africa building its own infrastructure with its own cement, powering economies with its own fuel, feeding people with its own food. He invested billions to make it happen. He forced the world to see Africa as an industrial player. The Dangote story, audacious optimism. Problems are opportunities. Thinking big, taking risks, relentless long-term vision. Hero, a tycoon, or something in between. More than factories, a case for Africa's future. A story to learn from.